Imagine a world without highways. For me, this is particularly difficult because I've always seen highways around. Whenever it's going to work or school or just hang out with my friends, I always take a train that's next to a highway. I always go on the highway with my parents. It's very efficient and quick travel. These same expressways and highways are traveled on by Americans and Chicagoans alike over and over again every day. Chicago alone has more than 54,000 miles of streets and roads, including 25,000 miles of expressways, 17,300 miles of highways, and 34,800 miles of local streets. Today we'll be looking at a specific neighborhood in Chicago to evaluate the changes that expressways and highways bring at a more local level. We will be examining the effects and causes of the Eisenhower Expressway being built through West and East Garfeild Park. But before that, we need to get some backstory on when and how the Eisenhower was built. After all, highways aren't built in one day. The Eisenhower, also known as the Ike or I-290. Its construction started on the Eisenhower Expressway between 1949 and 1961. It cost $183 million. It stretches from east to west of Chicago. But what's more important here is the number of people displaced. An estimated 13,000 people were forced out of their homes. As we dig deeper, we must examine the physical and human nature of the landscape that we're examining, specifically east and west Garfield. When you think about Garfield Park, you think about the conservatory, a beautiful place to experience both amazing nature and also amazing views. This amazing conservatory is really a gift to all the people and was built in 1908, and it caused an influx of tourism and Caucasians into the area, which were soon herded out by real estate investors that were looking to make a quick buck and really messed up the neighborhood, causing the high crime rates up to 300% the national average. But we are getting a little ahead of ourselves. We need to explore the history of the 1950s, the demographic of the people then. The demographic of the people then was mostly Russian Jews that immigrated here and were looking for a place to stay. They were in apartment homes and they had a very close-knit community here. For example, everything was in walking distance. So you can imagine what disturbance it caused when the highway was to be installed and they had to move and were not able to get the regular goods they had every single day on the regular. But more on that later. To make the history brief, after the park was constructed, many realtors wanted to buy land, so it was just a buying and selling frenzy. A lot of land was being tossed up, but then they did not lay down the correct infrastructure to build on top of the land. So they didn't have like the shops and stuff, the services needed, which could explain nowadays why there's such a high crime rate, because the infrastructure was never fixed. As we go further into the detail of the causes and effects of the Eisenhower moving through the lower part of East and West Garfield Park, I want to make it clear that the whole neighborhood was not predominantly Jewish, just the specific part that the Eisenhower ran through. And it was a very close-knit neighborhood. I want you to keep that in mind as we power through these next 8 minutes. As you have already heard, the Eisenhower was Chicago's first superhighway, going from east to west across the entire city. The first cause on why the Eisenhower was built is to provide a gateway from the northeast part of Illinois all the way down to the Loop in Chicago. The Eisenhower starts in the Loop and goes all the way up to the northeast corner, providing easy travel to most of the suburbs that are up there. The first cause on why the Eisenhower was built is to provide a gateway from the northeast part of Illinois all the way down to the Loop in Chicago. The Eisenhower starts in the Loop and goes all the way up to the northeast corner, providing easy travel to most of the suburbs that are up there. To put this into perspective, imagine taking side streets with a light every couple blocks all the way down to your work, and that would cause a lot of late days. So, not specifically for this reason, of course, this is just an example, but to make transport easier and to improve the lives of all the citizens, such as me. Like I work at the Loop. I don't really work like at a building. I work at a fast food place actually, but it helps me travel easily every single day. This convenience is what helps Chicago be set apart as one of the major cities in the world and in the U.S. Reason number 2 for the Eisenhower being built is for the access of trucks to be able to cross easily across the city to the main heart of Chicago to deliver goods or take away goods from the main manufacturing hub of the Loop and the central area of Chicago. This will be very beneficial to everyone inside the Loop, so they would not have to crowd the other streets if people still want to take those. And everything will move a lot smoother and a lot faster, with wasting a little time, causing business to be way faster. With these advantages, Chicago can rise further to the top of the ranks of the cities in the world, and as a major manufacturing hub and business hub of the world, being the 3rd largest city in the United States of America. The last reason that I will bring up today is that the Eisenhower allowed for a CTA blue line to be built inside of it, which leads to cost-effective public transportation that not only reduces carbon emissions but increases the livelihood and fast overall speed of the city, so people know they can get to work without a car rather than without public transportation being a part of many less developed countries where they have to buy a car to go everywhere, which discourages environmental health as well as traffic, and leaves an overall better taste in the citizens' mouth. They like going to their jobs more because it's more fast and it costs less. Now that we've went over all the causes of why the U.S. government would build the Eisenhower Expressway, we will go over to the effects, specifically on the Jewish community, which is the one most affected by the Eisenhower. Being a close-knit community, they walked everywhere. They got their food from the local market. They got it from their bread from the baker. It was all right there. They had it. They had it made, But as they were displaced, it was an estimated 13,000 people displaced by the Eisenhower Expressway in total. So about maybe a couple thousand or a few hundred were displaced in specifically Garfeild Park. Specifically the lower half. It cut through the lower half of Garfield Park. So that area, all the houses were picked up, and also all the small businesses that were there in the close-knit community were all taken away with this construction. The second effect of this would be the growing population of homeless people. We're focusing specifically on the Jews in Garfield Park here, but the homelessness here would be citywide along the Eisenhower Expressway. And as I mentioned before, 13,000 people were uprooted from their homes for the construction of this highway. So you got 13,000 people looking for new homes. That's family, that's men and women and children, all looking for new places to live. So either they're going to be homeless out on the street or purchasing real estate somewhere else, which sparks the economy, but also they can get into a bad situation where they can get redlined, like we've seen in other places, and be discriminated against, which can be a very terrible thing. The last effect that I want to bring up here is the acknowledgement that comes after of the racial inequity that the Jews were feeling and also the blacks were feeling. Not only in Garfield Park, also in Garfield Park, because there's still people being taken out of their homes at Garfield Park, but it was also throughout the city, and I have a quote here from Beryl Satter, and she wrote a book in 2019 called Family Prosperities, Race, Real Estate, and the Exploitation of Black Urban America. So I have a quote here from her. It said, "It sliced the neighborhood in two and essentially destroyed it," she writes. "Routines that had marked daily life were now impossible. The walk to the newsstand for the Sunday morning paper? Forget it. What used to be a peaceful stroll now entailed crossing 8 lanes of traffic. The corner to tailor? Gone. The baker? Out of business." As you see, this highlights the amount of pain that the people are going through, and it does not give a good rap to the people in power that are doing it, and it shows that the people are not really caring about the minority here, and would rather do it for convenience and they'd rather take other people's houses away from them just for them to have a highway. It's showing their greed, and some may argue that it's not greed, that it might be for the greater good of the city. But I would argue that it would be greed, and I think that they should have reimbursed the minorities who they took the house from more than they have. All in all, I just wanted to finish up with saying that the highway was a moral point of contention and also a physical point of contention, where people get up their homes, and also these homes had value in them, sentimental and physical value. So it was a great a moral debate, but it already happened, and now the city is better because of it. Like I use some of the Blue Line stops on the Eisenhower almost every day, just to go to school or get to work. So it's interesting to take a look on how our great city has been shaped, but also to see who has suffered from it. If these things are left unchecked, then we might start to take things that we use every day for granted. And I don't really want to do that, because then that loses value in the people that sacrificed for us to just have a mild convenience, which I feel would be very, very rude to the people that lived on the highway before, when you're just driving through where their old house used to be. Thank you for watching my video.